Yo, what's up epic gamers, my name's Fox and welcome to another video of mine. In this video we're gonna talk over Stone Sky Sea. And at first you're gonna be like, okay Fox, what is Stone Sky Sea? Alright, just a TLDR, Stone Sky Sea is a dummy that shows if you're doing enough damage to enter an instance, and you can find it outside of Yulmore. And now let's get a bit more detailed into it. So Stone Sky Sea, as I mentioned, is a dummy that is not in your FC house, nor in your house, nor around, or is it kind of randomly? No, it has a special place in every tier or every expansion, so it will change exactly its location where it is. For example, this expansion's dummy is located outside of Yulmore. Right there is where you would have Yulmore, right? You can see here on my minimap, this is where Yulmore is, and right into Colusia we go, and I'm standing right here. There you can see, and the dummy will be right around this corner. So here at the start of Colusia, you have this famous Stone Sky Sea. What does Stone Sky Sea do? Basically, it's a dummy with a 3-minute limit that has a certain amount of HP that you need to beat in order to do enough damage to then go into an instance with a good conscience, right? Like you can go into any kind of savage fight without knowing your rotation. You can go into extreme fights without knowing your rotation. But do you really want to be that guy who does really low DPS and holds back his team? But Fox, I don't use ACT. I play on console. I can't use it. How do I know if I do low damage? Well, this is your answer. Stone Sky Sea actually has these dummies okay tuned, not all of them always, but they're a good indication if you have any clue at all what you're doing, or if you literally have no clue what you're doing, right? For example, some dummies are overtuned, like the machinist one that I'm gonna do later on is quite overtuned, and for example, in FFXIV, I think the ninja one was very overtuned. So you should not take it 100%, take with a grain of salt. If you hit it up to, like, let's say 10%, 15%, you're good to go. All right. So let's move on to what Stone Sky Sea exactly is. We're gonna go there. You can find it right here again, outside of Yulmore. And we're gonna go and talk to the soft-faced bloke. That's basically the guy who has the access to these dummies. Click on fight, of course, and here we go. So this is now every instance you have unlocked that is in the current expansion, starting from the Dying Gas, which is the MSQ trial, going up to, of course, the newest, then the Minister's Belt Hades, and all the savage fights. But there is, as you can see, no T-fight because, I mean, no ultimate, because, I mean, if you go for an ultimate group, you should know that you're doing enough damage, right? Anyway, so yeah, basically, let's say you're a new raider, you want to get into raiding, but you're not sure about your DPS, you're not sure what you expected from you. It's really hard to gauge the damage you're supposed to put out. And these dummies basically are tuned for eye level 450 gear this tier, right? It's basically always tuned for the eye level that you need to enter them, which is not displayed here, but is displayed if you, for example, go to the fights. So we're going to go to high end duty, we're going to go to descent. For example, here it says average item level 445. So this dummy should be clearable on eye level 445, and I can confirm that I did all the dummies on Dancer, Machinist, and Bard, and they were all clearable on eye level 450 besides the Machinist E4S dummy. That one was pretty rough. So again, you tell yourself, all right, I want to get into raiding, but you're not sure about what you're doing because you're not using ACT, you're not sure what expected, you do not know if your gear is enough. This is where you want to go to. Let's just take now the Sepulture dummy, for example. All right, you cleared E3S, but you're unsure if you can carry your own weight, so we're going to then just queue up and get into a different instance. Now, as you can see, I'm also not running ACT for this because you don't need it. You don't need ACT for this. You can gauge yourself if you're doing good or bad with this tool. So I'm going to continue talking while I just do this dummy. You can see there's a 3-minute countdown, and then you just start it. It will start running that countdown basically, right? So basically you want to do this and see if you are that one person that is holding back the group. Like you might have seen Enrage in a few fights several times. You're not sure, is it me? Is it someone else? And this is what you want to do. This will tell you, are you the one to blame for that? Is someone else the one to blame for that? This tool can help you without ACT if you are able to actually pull the numbers you need to pull for a fight. I've seen the name Stone Sky Sea thrown around a lot, but a lot of people are like, what is this? What is this tool? I've never heard of it. This is because it has not been very publicly talked about it or come into some kind of like official blog, right? What I've always suggested basically for Skrillex is that I think that they might or could make these mandatory in order to enter Savage, which is in one way a good idea, but in another way it's a really bad idea because these dummies are, like I mentioned before, sometimes heavily overtuned, and even someone that has really good gear or is a very experienced player is not able to clear them completely. So I'm not sure if it would be the best idea, but then again, having people in Savage that really do not pull their numbers can hurt the group hard because you will just hold them back and you will not clear the content with them, right? For example, healers that focus too much on healing and don't use their damage tools are also a problem. But there's also dummies for healers, there's dummies for tanks, there's dummies for every job, and they are always tuned differently for every job, of course, that is, right? As you can see, I have 1 minute 20 left now. I'm just continuously hitting the dummy. There is no ECT going, but this will still give me an indication if I am good enough to enter Eden's Gate for Savage or not, if I'm pulling my weight or if I'm just being that weight in my group. So yeah, I think Stone Sky Sea is a tool you should at least be aware that it exists. Maybe you just want to play a new job, maybe you just want to have some fun on a not main job, which a lot of people do, right? They just want to have a good time on a job that's not their main, but they're not sure if they're doing it correctly. So this is a tool for you. Go there, hit it, and kill it basically, right? Again, there's also lots of guides out there everywhere. You have different content creators with different guides, different jobs. I myself have, of course, the range guides that you can find on my YouTube channel. And yeah, that's about it, I guess. As you can see, I cleared the dummy with around 20 seconds left, I guess. I'll clear it right now. There's going to be the last drill. There you go. 19 seconds left. Dummy cleared. So there's an indication I have enough damage to clear Eden's Gate for Savage. I'm not holding anyone back, especially with this amount of time left. Sometimes, depending on RNG, you can also be able to not clear it, then clear it, etc, 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 right? So yeah, very useful tool, overlooked by a lot of people in the community, also not fairly widespread. So if you know people that are new to Final Fantasy XIV, you might want to link them in this video just to help them find something to get an idea if they're doing it correctly or not. I hope this video was helpful to you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day. See you, boys.